Here I sit on my stool so far. Cause it's Tales from a Dive Bar. Hey, it's Tales from a Dive Bar. JD, joined by the Raven.
Hello.
And I had all of this exciting stuff planned out. I did some good show prep with the Grokster, as I guess the young kids would call it. I don't know if they call it all that. Made me probably sound dated. But then things changed. Unfortunately, today, Ozzy Osbourne has died at the age of 76 years old. And I felt it would only be appropriate to share one of my earliest memories of sitting in my dad's truck listening to the Never Say Die cassette while we drove down to Kentucky Lake. I was 5 years old. It was the first vacation I'd ever been on, first road trip. Going back to the trauma of it, right before we left for it, I had to say goodbye to my mom, and she was like, oh, well, you'll have like a couple minutes before your dad's here. When she left, I freaked out. I was like bawling, and then all of a sudden I know where she came back, and then she was crying because she was messed up with the whole like, oh, this is their first trip with their dad, and we're separated, and I was only 5 years old. But my favorite song on the album was Johnny Blade. I remember my dad telling him I wanted to always keep listening to it, and he's like, no, all right, it'll be coming up soon. He wanted me to listen to the rest of the album. So I took an homage to listen to the album entirely in the Touch Tunes today, right as I got off the train, and unfortunately, the Touch Tunes wasn't working. You could put money into it, but it wouldn't play or find any songs unless you used their app. So I screamed at the tech people on the chat, the live chat, going, refund my money now, you horrible human beings. I still ended up playing the album.
I don't think the younger generation could even experience Ozzy and Black Sabbath like we have.
I agree. It was one of those things where when we saw this last show, I was anticipating it to be really good. And then when he couldn't get out of the chair, I realized, okay, it's a good send off. It's cool, but it just felt like you could tell that the air was leaving sort of in a way. It was kind of weird. I mean, to have it happen not even, 3 weeks after his final farewell, the Back to the Beginning tour, which grossed a ton of money. It's one of the highest grossing concerts ever.
Wow.
Just from the stream and people showing up and spending money there.
Dang. So it was a charity event?
I guess so. I didn't really pick up on it until in between the bands, they would show. It was almost like a St. Jude style commercial, and I'd start getting like, what is going on right now?
Instead of children, it's just Ozzy.
Yeah.
Just being sickly and cute.
That would have been funny, actually. I mean, they didn't do any parodies. I remember in his shows, especially through the Ozfest era, the intro would always be him parodying whatever funny popular movies were going on.
Yeah.
So in The Sixth Sense, I see dead people. It's same idea, and they're looking at him, and he's crying as he's shivering in the corner, and he's like, I can't stop jacking off. And then they pan back, and the pillow, whatever's moving under his hand. It was so funny. It was so cheesy, the parody stuff they did. I'm going to really miss that. It's definitely a part of my life that in some weird way, I guess, everyone can say thank you, Ozzy, but I just hope like my dad's getting to meet him up in heaven or wherever the hell the spirits go.
That'd be pretty
I can't help
rad.
but think like how excited he's going. Cool, tonight's concert's going to be badass.
Heck yeah.
It was a signification of my father's youth, so I had to go and buy more vinyl today. I had to get volume 4 and
definitely,
just keep it going. And I don't know, it's weird to vicariously now live through this spirit who's no longer here. We never thought Ozzy would die. When you think you're like, the guy's going to live forever just because of all the chemicals in his body or something.
Yeah. You kind of like just think like certain celebrities are going to be there no matter what. I discovered Black Sabbath early on, maybe when I was in 6th or 7th grade. It was by accident, and it felt like it was like naughty. It felt like I shouldn't have done it. I opened up my mom's center console when I was waiting for her in the car, and there were these CDs with this crazy dude on the cover. And it was Black Sabbath, and I was like, Mom, what's this? And then, she told me, and then I started listening to the CDs, and then I found her vinyls, and I listened to her vinyls. And ever since then, I've been a big fan. And I met him, actually.
You actually met him? What was he like? I mean, I assume most of the meetings he have are brief, but
They're very brief. And I mean, it was at like a Barnes and Noble in Skokie or something. It was really wild, but it was really cool. Oh, it was when he released the book.
have you read it at all?
I still have not read it, I'll be honest, but it's still with me and it's signed.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a cool memory right there.
It is. I remember because it was the middle of January or February or something. And it was so cold and we had to get up early. And I remember just going to the car like all the time because I didn't want to sit outside because we weren't allowed in at first. And like,
They just keep letting the line get longer and
yeah,
longer.
and it was just like so fucking cold. Like, I mean, like negative temperatures. But hey, I met Ozzy that day and it's worth it. So RIP for sure.
But moving forward, this past weekend, we got to do something really cool with the Crete Women's Auxiliary Unit number 521.
Stager,
Stager.
actually.
Oh, Stager Women's Auxiliary Unit. That's why I need you here to correct me.
Yes.
But it was a lot of fun. We got a lot of clips, which we will play throughout the episode.
Definitely.
And it was there to not only benefit the Stager Women's Auxiliary, but also Mission 22. And this comes off their website. At Mission 22, they stand shoulder to shoulder with those who've served, offering not just resources, but a path forward. You know, healing, it doesn't just follow a timeline, and that's why Mission 22's program is to meet veterans and their families where they are before a crisis point, in the midst of a struggle, and throughout the long road of recovery.
Definitely.
So it was a great cause. It was a lot of fun. We grabbed some sound bites when we were over by the golf cart corral. We had to do a little mingling in order to get the golf cart. We had to say we were media, and we were getting pictures for the newsletter.
What's funny is that we could have just told them we sponsored a hole.
We told them that too, I think. I don't remember, but
I told them that because I was like, we're not media. I mean, we are, but like,
you got to say it more
we're
professional.
more important.
Like, they didn't care. And you know what? I think actually at one point, one of them said, "Oh, you guys are the one that have the podcast."
Yeah.
So
we
that
were
was
recognized eventually.
It was a lot of fun. We, right from the get-go, it seemed like it just was it started drizzling on us and spitting on us. So we took the golf cart and we hid under a tree and recorded for a while. So we'll take a quick little break and let you guys listen to that, and we will be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Tales from a Dive Bar on the scene. And don't mind the beeping sound you hear. That is somebody in reverse on what is known as a golf cart, because yes, the Raven and myself have found ourselves sponsoring a hole for the Women's Auxiliary of Crete here at
Tuckaway
Tuckaway Golf Course. Amazingly set up. We've just loaded up on beer with the cart, and we loaded them into the beer cart. Great prices, great crew, great people, very hospitable. Bloody Marys right when you get here.
So good.
We're going to talk to some of the golfers. We're going to get drunk with them. We're going to come up with other ideas on the fly that we're going to try to record. So we really hope you guys enjoy. But for now, we're going to go ahead. We're going to get our cart ready, and we will tune in with you guys later on. You know, I didn't even realize how tanked we probably were driving that golf cart around, the more I think about it. We could have brought a cooler out. People had their Bluetooth speakers going.
Right? No one would have known. But instead, we went to the bar and the bartender gave us this awesome bag of ice with all our drinks.
Exactly.
That we
They were
ordered.
so cool about it to where I was just like,
Yeah.
can I get 3 more? Good prices, good food.
Right?
We should also mention the food sponsor that came out for that one, because I
Yeah.
ate 3 sausages at one point.
Del Santo's is our local gem for Italian sausage. They make like great sauce too. Like everything is just homemade because it's mom and pop, you know?
I love the meat quality they use for the sausage. It didn't taste too
Exactly.
salty, which I think that's always a big problem with a lot of sausage. It just has too much of a salty taste to me. But this
Yeah.
was perfect. It was so good that I had to eat 3 of them. And we dipped it in the last little bit of au jus sauce because everyone pretty much started rating the Italian beef that they had going because it was apparently it was a smash, apparently. It was
It
that
definitely
good.
was. How much did I eat? I don't even remember.
I just kept bringing food back over
And I
as
kept
everything was
eating it.
going. But the reason I bring that up is because that was near the end. But in the middle, we get around and we're driving around. Your dad finds us and spots us at one point, and we're only at like 4 holes driven around, and it felt like it was 2 hours at that point. We're like, wait a second, this is gonna. Where's our hole? And that
we
became
could
the
not
joke.
find that at all. Like I was like, I don't remember what they told us, and I don't know where to go. It all looks the same to me.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Like we got into some circle to where we're like, wait a second, we're back at hole 1. But it was funny because I remember seeing your dad go a different route, and it was right when it really started pouring really bad. So everyone was probably just hanging out under trees and in their golf carts, just recreationally drinking. There was no field marshal or anything like that trying to usher the games along, so that was cool. I was under the etiquette of like the golf course I worked at when I was a kid. I'm like, oh, I'll wear
Right.
a nice polo shirt kind of thing and get my nice shorts, the khaki.
Even I dressed up.
Yeah, you were looking great, by the way. You had
Thank
the
you. I looked very sporty. I had my little ankle socks and my tennis shoes, and I looked great, but it definitely got stained.
you looked like somebody that would be like the owner's daughter there, just walking
Right?
around, having fun, pulling out your camera every now and then, laughing. And then you're right. Yeah, I did. We probably did get a little too stoned out on the field. But we had a lot of time to figure it all out.
Yeah.
And it worked, I think. I don't know.
I don't regret it, but I will say this is a Tales from a golf course because I was so high by the end of it, like near the end.
You were pretty gone. We probably sat there for a good half an hour to 45 minutes
Damn it.
before you were ready to get up and go back in.
So a Tales from a golf course. Or a better one would be Tales from the Fairway.
Yes. Well, let's go ahead and jump back into that. We eventually find our hole, which was hole number 17. Super stoked and excited to finally find it. It felt like it took 3.5, 4 hours just driving around the place, not knowing what we're doing.
Nope.
And we decide when these college kids pulled up, because they college age kids, I had the backtrack on me. So I thought, what better way to then introduce them to the podcast and give them magnets than to breathalyze them?
There's no other way.
And definitely within the first couple runs, we knew we were going to have a winner. The first 2, like, okay, one was like, what? Should I even give the numbers or should I just let them listen to the audio clip?
Oh, listen to the audio.
You know what?
folks.
Listen to the audio clip. We will be right back. That would be like high peak right here. I think he's going to be closer to .09. Oh, dude. All right. You say .02?
102. I don't feel that drunk yet. So point 4.
.4?
0.08.
You're the closest. It was
Right up on
.076.
You're legal to drive. I am legal to drive. Yeah.
Yeah! Man, this guy, you could tell he's going to just have like a high number. He's at .067.
You are 6'7".
All right, this guy right here. We can go ahead and put you at the bottom. You're at .036. This guy is the winner. Welcome back. You guys listened and heard about all of the... Saw then that, of course, the fourth guy, the silent one, he comes in and he blows like a .21. Just double the legal limit. Obliterated, still standing. And... Of course, we're all laughing and goofing off, and I'm like, do not drive. Do not sit in that cart and drive at that point. He was cool, though. His
Luckily,
friends
he wasn't. Because
his
what they
friends took
did.
care of him, but they still ended up just keep partying. And then
Yeah.
they hooked up Raven with SoCo.
Yeah. Or rum. I can't remember what it was. But that's what I mean. Like, they continued the party right then and there, and we joined.
And you were already, pretty gone by then. So
Not-
then... Well, you were gone, but they're like, you know what? That started it because then they're going to
Yeah.
offer you a chaser.
Oh, and I said no
You
chaser.
just looked at him like you were just looking right, like, no, you're not going to
No.
do that.
Do you know who
What's
I
wrong with you
am?
guys? Yeah, why would you use a chaser? Speaking of which, I tried wearing your bedazzled shirt throughout the entire thing.
Yes.
At some point, all the shirts came off when we were hanging out. I don't know what happened there. I think I got hyper. I barely
All
remember.
Jason's shirts, by the way, not my shirt. His shirt.
But your bedazzled shirt, you had the one lady that was the head honcho, and I remember her being mad because I was wearing the shirt.
Yeah, because I was supposed to wear it.
Well, I tried to say to her, "Oh, it's all right, I'm wearing it." And she looked right through me like, "What is wrong with you?" And then she looked at you and she's like, "You wear that shirt."
Yeah, and
we
then
did
I
put
did
it on. You
for
put
a
it
while.
on.
Yeah,
you put it
I
on.
did.
Yeah, so we had the BAC kids. We, at one point after we had seen them hit away from us, we put a bunch of magnets on the cart thinking, oh, they'll stay. And then as we started driving, they just started flying off around in the fairway,
Well,
around on
what's
the golf
funny
course.
is because they did stay for a while. They
Yeah.
stayed through like rain. They stayed through a lot of wind. And then halfway through, we put more on and they were just like gone.
We must have created some kind of wind turbulence or turbine between the two sides of the cart post.
And I just looked at Jason and was like, just leave it. People will find
People will
it.
find them. They'll get mowed over.
Yeah, just
Like,
leave it.
It's like, oh, there's $3 worth of magnets.
It's fine.
Speaking of which, magnets, you can purchase them online at talesfromadivebar.com. We will also have video and some other fun goodies and some pictures where you could see me wearing the bedazzled shirt and also shirtless at a certain point at talesfromadivebar.com.
Yeah, exactly. And let's not forget, like, not only did we sponsor a hole, but Blue Chew sponsored
That's
a
right. We had to
hole.
go to the hardest hole.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun, and that was a hard hole. You could tell you had to like hit over a hill and then curve it or slice it to the right in order to get down. And of course, right when we get to that hill, it started raining on us too.
Yeah, pretty hard.
So we hung around the Blue Chew hole, and we were just kind of laughing and joking and drinking. And at some point, we ran into the guys you work with. They were out there doing their thing too.
Yeah, which disclaimer, because I think we need to do, like, we are not Blue Chew. We are a compounding pharmacy, but we do compound Blue Chew. So just so we get the record straight, but
Can we still call it the Boner Pill Factory?
we could pretend. But another tidbit, we are not a factory. We are not a manufacturer.
Oh, man, I totally got this wrong.
But it's a good joke, and I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. And like I said, even earlier in the podcast, you guys might have heard the intro while we were having our podcast remote. I am a client of Blue Chew. It works
Yes.
great. I've done the Blue Chew ones and the Blue Chew Max, and they're good.
I thought you only did the max. You did the Tad bar combo, and then you did the Sil Tad combo or
Oh,
something.
yeah. I changed it out at
switched.
some point. Yeah. I felt like it really didn't matter if you were like, if you're in the mood and you pop that, you're going to be in good shape either way.
Yeah.
Did I feel like any difference in terms of like, the ballooning effect or whatever, or the squeezed fist feeling?
No,
Nothing like
I
that.
doubt it. Just keeps you ready, right?
Yeah. It's great. And as we were going into this, again, they do not pay me to do that. I actually pay them to get their product. So, yeah. If you got problems with that, be sure to check it out. They have a very interesting way to interview you in order to get you your prescription, but it works very easy. I originally did have stuff to use. I was going to tell some dive bar quips that came up in the show prep that I'm using now, because, no one ever uses their brain anymore.
Oh,
But
what's this?
a couple stories came up, so it gave me some little pointers of where we could go, and it also leaves our audience with something they can answer or use in a conversation at some point. All right, so here it is, July 2025. At a dive bar, a guy noticed 3 burly bearded bikers sitting together, looking like they had stepped out of Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Do you know that reference?
Oh, I love that movie.
Feeling bold, the man shouted, "Hot damn, it's the Soggy Bottom Boys." To which the bikers beat the living shit out of him.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. That didn't happen. The bikers stared at him for 5-10 seconds before ignoring him and resuming their chat. So my thought was, and I know I've done this a lot, but have you ever made a joke in a bar that totally bombed?
Usually it always has to do with something sexual or something political or something gay affiliated or something.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll tell you a story. You were there, but I don't know if you remember. This isn't a joke, but the shirt I was wearing was a fucking joke. Like, it's in the Pornhub font and it says breed me.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I was like, I think on shrooms or something. And I was in the bar and I was like you went out for a smoke or something. And I was like, damn it, where'd everyone go? And I like was at the bar and I was like, oh my God, where's mommy and daddy?
Oh boy.
Yeah. And then this like woman looked at me with disgust and she's like, you see your shirt? Why would you say something like that? And I was like, dude, I didn't mean it like that.
It just came off weird. Yeah, it was awkward.
So, I mean, it's not a direct joke I told, but, you know, sometimes you wear things and it starts shit.
I kind of said something to the degree, it was about gay marriage. And I said, you know, and it's been a joke that's been told, you know, it's no business what the government you want to do with your love life, you know, period. You know, you shouldn't look at the government and say, I need to make this a good reference to say this is what makes us legit. And then I said, oh, by the way, legalize sex work or something of that nature. And it was just so off put that everyone kind of looked at me like, eh. And then I tried to redeem myself by saying, well, you know what? I guess everyone deserves to be equally miserable. It was just so like bad timed, bad reference. Should have probably thought a lot more further ahead before I even went into it.
Right. I think that's the problem, even with like what you said and then like my shirt and what I said. Like, I think it's like bad timing and then the people around you are having their own schema about it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
That's fun.
But if I saw the Soggy Bottom Boys, I'd tell them to play a song.
Yeah, you figure get a banjo or something going there and be rocking.
Yeah.
That was fun, though. I like that. We'll do more of those as we continue into the podcast world.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I like scenarios and questions.
Yeah. I'm working on it. The show is going many different directions, and it comes out to trying to make it more fun, more concise. Even if the density of the audio or whatever, the content isn't something that somebody likes, go ahead, check another episode out. Fast forward. Why not? But this was a blast, Raven. I liked us recapping everything we did this last weekend for our first podcast remote. I would really love to do it again with another setup of people here shortly. We are definitely jumping on next year for the...
Oh, yeah. We're already in the talks of planning next year's.
And that felt like the vibe of... I felt a lot of the people there and the sponsors. They're like, okay, let's bring on next year.
Yeah, there were no complaints. Like, everyone was really happy. The Blue Chew crew was totally happy. And I was happy and high.
That's how it works, being happy and high. And with that, we will see you guys later. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to give us a like or a thumbs up or subscribe to the episode. Follow us on all of the social medias and at talesfromadivebar.com. Don't forget, we have magnets 2 for $10 and I think 5 for $10 for the smaller ones. So check it all out at talesfromadivebar.com. Raven, sign them out. Give them something good.
Check out our photos from the event on talesfromadivebar.com. Like, it's so good, so fun. And yes, you'll see Jason shirtless.
There you go.
There's that. Take care, folks.
All right, take care. Have a good one. Peace.
Tales from a dive bar, yeah. Come and listen for free. Get your ass on your couch, eat some food, and listen to us three.